I'm DJ with the Bear Essentials, and it's March in Ontario, Canada, and we're in some really deep snow.
I'm building survival shelters, eating great food, and camping amongst a pack of wolves. This was one of the coolest camping experiences I've had this year. I'm so glad I got this on tape, so sit back and enjoy.
I'm driving into the back piece of this land and I'm noticing a ton of fresh wolf tracks. They're all over the place, just weaving around like crazy. These wolves are just cruising this whole area trying to hunt beavers. They'll dig down into holes just like that when they find a scent. Look at all the tracks in the snow over there. Those are all wolf tracks. No way. Look at that. That's fresh. So this wolf was here either this morning or last night because this stuff isn't frozen. He's been sniffing around this beaver area. See, he's cruising all the accessible water spots. Over there's just a tamped down area where he probably took a rest. And then he came over here and dropped a nice deuce. What the heck is this? Oh my gosh. It's like a chunk of meat. That looks like barf, honestly. As if the animal barfed that up. But there's pee all around it. So maybe that isn't barf, maybe, I don't know. Wow, so we know there's definitely wolves right in this area. That's super cool. Wow, look at this. I think there's definitely more than one wolf. Look at all the area it's covered. Just going all up there around these beaver lodges. There's another one right here. And that's fresh too. That's fresh and covered in fur. There's some more right there. And over there's more. Oh my gosh. We are in a poop forest right now. This is insane. What is this? Interesting formation of poops. It's in a line, like it was running and pooping all at the same time. See these prints here? I actually don't know what this is. It's hard. It doesn't really smell like anything. Wow. These are phenomenal. There's a bit of gooiness inside. That's an old guide trick I used to do while guiding in the Yukon. Never gets old. I'm gonna follow these wolf tracks in because there seems to be something over there. Look at that. Wow. Man. I think that's some kind of beaver area. I don't think the wolves have dug down and are burrowing there, but it's sure kind of spooky and looks like that, doesn't it? Oh, this is cool. Check out what I found over here. This is where the beavers pull everything into that hole. You know, I always thought beavers would just hibernate in their lodge. They store food caches of trees that they bring before the ice freezes. But if it's a long winter like this, they're coming out here and cutting more trees actively and then bringing them into the holes like that. You know, I brought a game camera with me, so I think I'm gonna put it on one of these trees and see if we could catch any footage of a beaver coming out of this hole or dragging trees or something. All right, let's leave this here and try to go find a camp spot, shall we? This sun is heating up pretty good. Don't let the snow fool you. It's freezing temperatures overnight, but it gets a little bit positive in the day. It's probably 0 or 1 degree Celsius right now, and with the sun, I feel it. No way! So I came over here to this open area, and I think I found what the wolves have been eating. Here's a little sign. There's another one. And there it is. Wow. That is a mostly eaten deer carcass. There's still a good amount of meat here, so chances are the wolves will be back tonight. I think this is the makings for a great spot for a shelter, just in that forest there. And if I'm lucky, I'll be able to hear those wolves tonight. Now, wolves in this area completely avoid humans, so I've got to go far enough in the bush to not disturb them, but close enough so I can still hear them. So that open lake with the deer kill is just behind me. You can see through the trees there's a flat area. I found a nice raised island here, so we're going to scope around to see if we could find a good spot. Looks like this snowshoe broke a bit here, but it should still work. This snow is just insanely deep. Keep hitting trees. I'm gonna have to move spots. Under here are some pretty big trees, and so I can't dig down properly. There's about 2 feet of void space under this tree. So instead of trying to dig around this, I'm just gonna move spots. This dinky shovel is just brutal for this stuff. It's lightweight and great for a backpack, but next year I definitely need to upgrade to something bigger. All right, we're building up the walls pretty nice in here. I still want to get them a few feet higher. This is going to be a really cool fortress when I'm done with, but I'm absolutely starving right now and I need to eat some food. And for that, I'm going to have to build a fire. Look at how deep this snow is here. You feel good, you feel nice and confident, and then your foot sinks in. And once one foot sinks in, like that, and it's hard to get out. So traveling anywhere without snowshoes is pretty much undoable. This deep snow is a really tough environment to be in. You also want to watch out, there's no trees and sticks buried underneath you. You fall into a hole like this, and there's a stick sticking up, and that's not good news. This stuff is just ideal. Burns so easily. This is what I'm going to start my fire with. I like to put a base of these logs here underneath, just so the embers don't go right into the snow and snuff themselves out. So this, I could just leave it right where I want my flame to dance up into there. And here as well, this little bundle, right there. A cool emergency way to get a fire going is using an alcohol pad. This is found in all your basic medical kits. And now I just got my ferro rod and I'll fire some sparks into there. There it goes. Stuff burns really well. All right, now while this is burning down, getting some good coals for cooking, I'm gonna build these sides up even more. All right, so now we got a nice tripod. Oh, got smoked out. My eyes are very blurry right now. I am absolutely starving, and I brought something really special to have for lunch. A lobster bisque. Look at that. I'm eating luxury out here. On this tripod, I'm just going to attach a rope right here that dangles down into that fire. Just throw a clove hitch, just like that. Great in the coals. Adding some ghee to this. Nothing sticks. And I brought some bread dough with me. So I'm gonna make a nice dough just to dip in that lobster bisque. When the moon hits the sky like a big pizza pie, that's amore. Nice thing about this packing snow is you could just push anything kind of right into it. Now I could sit right here. Oh, that's nice. Oh yeah, fantastic. Oh. Oops. Oops. Bread got a little burned. That's fine. That's fine by me. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Guys, check it out. Nice piece of slightly burnt bread. Look at this corner. That looks at least nice. All right, this is just barely hot enough to hold. This is going to be a disaster. Come on. Oh. Bon appetit, some lobster bisque. Oh. Wow. Some of this bread. Mmm. Mmm. I also brought another little special thing. This is a jar of the best maple syrup in the entire world. This maple syrup is homemade by the Mills family. They harvested this from the trees literally right across there. It is pretty surreal that I get to have this right now. Oh, nothing better than maple bread. Just gonna put a little. Oh. Mmm. Mmm, that's amazing. So the sun's gonna dip down in a few hours, and it's decently warm right now, but that temperature is gonna drop real fast. I don't know if it's gonna snow tonight, so I'm gonna need a structure over my head just in case. What I'm thinking is a cross beam over from that tree, coming over this way. I've got all the walls built up in a nice fortress, so I'm protected by the wind. I also want to get myself up off the ground, so I need to build a bed structure right across there. Let's get to it. Time to harvest some wood. Over here, we're in a real swampy area. Normally you wouldn't be able to get here, but in the winter everything's frozen over. Look at all this dead wood here. Stuff is splitting real nice. Yeah. Oh boy, I smelled some burning plastic. Turns out one of the legs of my tripod got mangled. Okay, good little bit of firewood to get us going. Now let's see about that roof, if I can make something across here. I probably got to get 10 to 15 poles to get that shelter to work. I can start to feel the temperature starting to drop down, but keeping active is helping me, so I'm gonna go harvest those. My fire's completely done, so I've got to work on this shelter first, and I'm in a bit of a race against time. See how the angle of these branches angle this way? That's the way we want to cut when you just limb them. I'll just pile these up right here. If it's gonna snow tonight, I need a lot of these or else I'm in trouble. I figure I can measure the pieces pretty good with this saw blade. This is one of my bigger saws. It's 24 inches long, so that's 2 feet. At the widest part, that shelter is about 10 feet wide. So 2, 4, okay, this is a good height. We're gonna tie a square lashing here. Square lashing is meant for anything where there's a cross shape. It's good for structural beams like this, and it's fairly easy to tie. I'll superimpose it up on the screen here. Just like that. Want that. So what I'm gonna do is tie another square lashing on these X's right here. Now the old test. Will it hold? It looks like there's a lot of flex, but it holds. Well, we got our ridge pole and the sun is definitely setting, so I'm at a bit of a race against time. So I've still got to go and get that game camera back from the beaver spot and move it to that deer carcass. But I really want to finish this roof before the sun sets, so I'm going to hustle. Well, I can start feeling it getting a bit colder, but as long as I keep moving, I'm pretty good. All right, roof's looking not too bad. I really didn't want to do this at night, but I kind of messed up the timing. I've got to go in that snowmobile way back and get the trail cam from that beaver spot. Then I'm going to transport it back to that carcass, which isn't too far away. I thought I just heard, I actually think that's a wolf. That is cool. Okay, I definitely want to get that trail cam and then get a fire built, and I need to get a bed platform built. So we still have a lot of work to do, and it is dark. I'm not hungry yet, but no doubt I will be pretty soon after building this stuff. So my boots are pretty soaked. Same with these gloves here. So as I rip out there, the cold wind is just gonna freeze my hands and feet. This is not what I want to be doing right now. Okay, that's where we're going. Alrighty. So we're just headed off into the abyss. Just casually, where the wolves are. There's a wolf poo right there. Ah, gosh. It's not how I was thinking my night was gonna go. I was hoping I'd just nestle up and cook dinner, have a nice fire. Let's check the trail cam. Let's play the footage here. No, that's just me packing up my stuff. Oh, man, that's a bummer. Well, I guess we're gonna head back to the deer carcass and see if we can't get anything coming overnight. That's our other shot. I thought for sure there would be a beaver coming out of this spot. They were not being busy beavers. They were being lazy beavers. How dare they? Something really creepy just happened. So I was sitting here looking at the stars and I heard what sounded like a woman's voice. Like almost like a shriek or something, but it sounded like a woman's voice. I'm so far away from anything and there's no properties really around here, so I don't know exactly what that was. There it is, looking the same as before. You wonder if anywhere out there there's any wolves watching. They don't generally come too close to humans, but when you're on a kill like this, you really don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna set up this game cam right here and hopefully we get something coming in tonight. This one's called the circus knot, because any clown could tie it. Okay, finally time to build that bed. I definitely don't want to be sleeping on this uneven, cold ground. Not bad. Guys, there's an owl somewhere around here. I could hear it. I'm so bad at this. I could hear it. You know what I gotta do is get one of those YouTube recordings of an owl playing and just let that play. That's probably the better move here. Okay. Oh. Let's finally get a fire, shall we? It is nice to be sitting down and I'm realizing my gloves and my boots are soaked. I'm like swimming in my socks right now and I am starving. Time to get a nice fire going and start to dry off. I'm gonna use these logs as the base. Let's get a couple going across like this. All right. Oh my God. Wow. Those wolves are not far. They're right there. Oh my God, this is so cool. Wow. I'm gonna get a fire going quick. Holy smokes. I wonder if they're gonna get to that deer tonight. I'm just gonna take some of this waxed hemp off of my ferro rod and just open it up a bit like that.
So you can scrape a bit of that ferrocerium dust onto it. This usually works pretty well. And when you're ready, you fire one spark in, and it lights that all up. It's very forgiving because it's like a wick. So if you don't get it the first try, just lower it in. Can't forget to throw this back in my pouch. Don't want to lose that.
So this type of fire that I started here with the log stacked on the bottom, this is called a reverse fire. So as the stuff on the top lights and all the embers fall down, it slowly lights the base. It's a great cooking fire, and you could somewhat leave this alone while you go do other stuff because it just burns down and kind of tends itself. I'm going to take these logs and actually stack them up under my bed just to stop the airflow from going under there. If there's a lot of airflow going under there, it gets a bit cold. Well, I'm definitely getting a bit thirsty. And the trick is finding clean snow. All right, we got this stick here. Look at that bushcraft right there. And this is why the taut line hitch is one of the best knots. I'd highly recommend learning this thing. It's good for tarps, but look at this. You can adjust it and that'll sit lower, or we'll slide that down and it raises the pot up. Perfect. It's a really cool knot. Not bad. The top layer of snow is pretty dirty, and it has all these like sand flea things jumping around. It's getting a little cold. Let's get cooking. I can't wait for this. So we got potatoes. Okay, this is one of my favorite potato recipes. This is French onion soup mix, and it goes really well on potatoes. When you fry them up, it gets a delicious flavor. I grew up with these and we always called them cottage potatoes because we'd have them at the cottage. I'm gonna put a second one. Smells so good. I can't wait for this. Oh, no. Oops. I didn't tighten that properly. We lost a potato. Oh, that's looking good. These potatoes are looking so good. My main course is coming up, but I gotta try one. Let's go. What have we got? Ooh, look at that. Nice steak. I'm gonna salt this thing up and cook it right on the coals. All right, this steak is going right on the coals. Nice. All right, time for a flip. Nice.
That steak's looking good. Okay, we're gonna let this rest for a little bit. How about we kick up this fire? All right, it's time. Time to try the steak. Cooked to perfection. These cottage potatoes are so good too. Little onion bits are a bit burnt, but it's still delicious. This is really hot. I'm gonna add just a splash of maple syrup, maple tea. And for dessert, I've got two 2-bite brownies. One. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I don't want to bring out my sleeping bag just yet until I dry out my boots. My boots and socks are completely soaked. I need to keep the fire bigger so I could dry my boots out, but I can't bring out my sleeping bag and go to sleep because there's tons of sparks that are flying, and the embers are just gonna burn a hole in my sleeping bag. Oh. I think what I'm gonna do is get out the old plastic bag boot so I could dry my actual boots. I'm gonna put on this nice dry sock, and now the old plastic bag boot. Tuck them under my base layer. That's pretty soaked. Whew, that's nice. Okay. All right. Here's what we got going on. Just a drying tree. A luxury. I brought a pillow. Well, it's supposed to get down to -10 tonight, and this is a +5 sleeping bag. But I think with the sleeping mat and this shelter here, I should be able to do okay. Check it out. Boots are almost dried. Yeah, look, got a little burnage here, but all good. I'm nestled up in my sleeping bag. It's definitely cooling down. I've got a little entranceway trap just in case some wolves come to visit. It gives me a little advance notice, and then I could wake up, grab my axe, or just use the fists of steel. All right, what a day. I'm gonna try to get some sleep, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Good night. Holy smokes. What a rough night's sleep that was. Oh man. I don't even want to get up, but I'm chilled to the bone. Also, just FYI, this is a left-handed sleeping bag. I didn't even know they made left-handed sleeping bags. I've had this thing for like 10 years, and it's always been the worst for getting up. Left-handed meaning, see this head pouch? When that's on, the zipper's not on my right side, so my right hand can't open it. I've got to use my left, and the zipper's all the way on this side. It's just so annoying. What the heck? Oh my gosh. Come on. A success. Don't get a left-handed sleeping bag unless you're left-handed. Even if it's on sale. It's just not worth it. Looks like our fortress has held up well. Oh, I'm glad these dried out before the night. They are not frozen.
This is the nice part about chopping firewood the night before. So for this taut line hitch here, you could just grab the knot, and even with one hand, that'll lower it down. Nice and low, reach that fire. Well, I'm starting to feel a little bit better now. Starting to warm up a decent amount too. I can have something special for breakfast. I don't normally have this. The sleep last night was pretty brutal on the count of the fact that my sleeping bag was just too light rated for how cold it got. My fire went out pretty fast, and the last thing I wanted to do was leave that sleeping bag to just keep feeding that fire. Falling asleep though was actually one of the coolest things. I could hear the wolves howling all in that general area just down there. It went on for a good amount of time. There was also a full moon going on, so it was like the coolest night to be out here ever. The time you get cold though is about 3, 4 in the morning. That direction over there is where the marshes are and where that beaver lodge was. And then that direction over there is where the deer is. So I hope me being in the middle didn't disturb them too much. I'm hoping they still went by and got that kill and we got something on the game camera. Either way, it was super cool to hear them howl just a couple 100 meters off. It was just a beautifully haunting sound, I guess I could say. And then it got freezing cold and I froze. So now we are making a retribution breakfast of something I don't normally have in the backcountry just because it makes a big mess, but it's so delicious. It's gonna really bring up my spirits. I brought with me some pancake batter. All I had was protein pancakes at home, but I did bring some chocolate chips to sweeten up the deal. All right. I have no idea how much this is gonna make, so. Oh, shoot. I think this fire's actually too hot. It's going to destroy my pancakes. So I'm going to just open it up a bit. I'm just going to take some of the coals, put it over here. Try to cook on that there. Oh no. Ah, that's really hot. Oh yeah, some chocolate chips. How to clean utensils. Nice and clean. The moment of truth. Oh, not bad. For this pancake, what I'm doing is putting it on for like a minute and then letting it sit. I think if I leave it right on those coals, this fire is so hot it's just gonna burn it. Pancake. And now, the greatest flourishing touch. Oh. Oh, nothing beats homemade maple syrup. The stuff you buy in the stores, it's somehow different. I don't know if the process of making it is different, but there's something about homemade maple syrup that is incredible. all the chocolate bits. Mm-hmm. All right, I've got a full belly and I think it's time to go check out that trail cam. It's not too far, it's just about a 2-minute walk down the snowmobile path. I wonder if anything came to it. I'm trying to be quiet, but realistically any of the animals here are able to hear me a mile away. In the morning I heard a lot of crows and ravens over here. Let's see if the trail cam got anything. Oh my God, no way! That's wild! Oh my goodness. Well, friends, I think I'm going to start heading out. I think that's it for this adventure.
Between the wolves howling at night, having fun building a deep snow shelter, and even catching a few of the wolves on tape, which is such a rare and cool sighting. This all made for an unforgettable experience.
If you want to see more adventures just like this, we got plenty on the Bear Essentials YouTube channel. I'm your friend DJ from the Bear Essentials, and thanks for stopping by.